That was Turnho 2025, one of the biggest HEMA tournaments in all of Europe, in a city of Turnhaw in Slovakia. It was a whole day of steel, sweat and adrenaline, and I had a total blast, but also I learned from my mistakes, which hit harder than cuts and thrusts. So Turnhow is not some backwater HEMA tournament in some garage hall. There were fencers all over Europe: Slovakia, Czech, Bulgaria, Hungary, Germany, Italy, France, Poland, Ukraine, Finland, Belgium, and even Canada. And all of them were bringing their own way of technique and the mindset in longsword craft, but also in rapier with dagger as well. Imagine 126 competitors in longsword men, and imagine 150 competitors in general for all categories, like rapier with dagger, but also longsword women. It's one of the most prestigious HEMA event worldwide, and it was so exciting and fun for me to be there and take part in it. Seeing every HEMA star, but also founding fathers of HEMA. For example, Martin Fabian himself, Miro Latela, but also my own masters, coaches and clubmates like Mikołaj Kołodziej, Antek Olbryski, Bogdan Donchenko, and many more. It was very intense, but also insanely humbling. Every fight reminded me that there's always someone faster, someone way smarter, and someone way calmer under that pressure than me. But that's what it makes really addicting. Because first of all, it's a battle against yourself and your inner thoughts, and later against your opponents. Just like Miyamoto Musashi said, today is a victory against yourself from yesterday, and tomorrow is your victory against lesser men. So Turnhow 2025 was my first ever tournament. Of course, I didn't win the tournament, but I've learned something more important, which is awareness. Awareness of how I fight, how I think, how I freeze in one place, or awareness of how I overcommit to my attack under that real pressure, where everyone is watching your move, where there are cameras and live streams going on, where everyone could watch your mistakes. So what is my score? My score is I fought against 6 other opponents in pools and I made it out. I even won against an opponent in eliminations, but I got stopped at the second match in eliminations because I fought against a Czech master called Pavel Dostal. And I'm not even mad about it, but I still fought to the very end. I never made the work easier for my opponents. I never backed down, because there's no room for pretending in this tournament, in this environment. You either adapt instantly or you get punished for it. And that's why it was extra hard for me, because Turnhow had a right-of-way rule set, which means, in short, that the fencer who takes the initiative and advances first has the priority in his attacks. So if the other fencer, the one who haven't advanced, should be the defender, so he can't counterattack into the opponents. So the attacker which hits his first strike scores the point, 1 point, even if he got hit back, which isn't a real life sword fighting, because you want to defend yourself, so defend your life. So the defender, to take his priority back, should parry and then attack himself, so do a riposte. So my honest hot take about right of way is that it rewards the suicidal attacker most often than not. But I see how it sometimes forces both fighters for a very good exchange. But what was the biggest lesson that I've learned and confirmed is that the distance management and timing in sword fighting are everything. You can have the cleanest technique in the world, but if you lack these two things, then you'll be dead before you even swing. And most of all, it's composure. Because keeping your breathing steady and being calm under that real pressure is what you need to win against your opponent, to think clearly and see him and only him in this environment, to focus on the fight, not the other people who are watching you. Because to be honest, the adrenaline really hit me really hard, like a train. I had to breathe, and that's what you should do as well. And that's what separates good fencers from the great ones. Some of my opponents were really famous guys, like really. I've used to watch them on YouTube even before I even started my own longsword journey, my own HEMA training. So being honest, it was surreal to fight against them. But at the moment of fighting, we were equals. We were just the guys who were trying to outthink and outfight each other, and nothing more. So what about the ego? Tournaments like this kill your ego very fast, but in a good way. You realize how little you actually know and how much there's still to learn. But that's the whole point. You have to step into something more harder, into a real challenge, and test yourself, to test if all those solo drills, if all those HEMA lessons and constant club sparrings actually mean anything under real pressure. And even when I lost, I had this weird gratitude for my opponents, because they showed me where I lack, where I could improve through the real thing, through just getting hit, feeling it, and reflecting on it. But also these guys are not only my opponents, they are now my friends. So that's something. And honestly, this is what I really wanted to show you. That real growth doesn't happen in front of a screen. It happens when you pick up a sword, when you show up and you train until you sweat, basically. And when you finally feel that real pressure, that real sword fighting, where there's chaos, and if you just master it, if you just want to master it, you'll see the calm under all of that chaos that is happening, where there's steel beating the steel aside and hitting your opponent directly, or you're getting hit time and time again. This is so much fun. And being honest to you, gaming won't give you that. And I tried it myself. And comfort won't give you that as well. Only the forge of a real battle under the pressure will. So the one thing that you could get from this whole video is that you can do it as well. If I can do it, so can you. And I really believe it. And if you're watching this and thinking, I want to get there one day, then that's why I also have my community called From Gamer to Swordsman, where I teach guys, talk about HEMA and going through the hardships of training real sword fighting skills in HEMA. You don't need to be good, you just need to start and show up time and time again. So if you want to actually start your HEMA journey, this is your sign, and you can check out the link in the description of this video. Turnho tournament reminded me that sword fighting has no end. There's no finish line to your mastery. There's only new challenges, new scars, and new lessons to learn time and time again. Mastery is a never-ending path of gratitude and joy through the hardships and real sweat, real pressure. Some call it a marathon mindset, but I call it a crusader mindset. Every tournament is just another crusade. It's a real test of who you are becoming. So wherever you are, keep showing up, because the only way forward is through the fight. And remember, always take the initiative.